the majority of the staff, the 23 people that took it, if you can see all 23, that was question 8, was talking about strategies and support with ESL students. Was a lot of you guys wanted to see more of that, and so I'm responding to you and creating a professional development to do that. I am not an ESL teacher. I am just like you guys, and I just want to do more research to give support in the classroom. Another thing is I don't want to add more things that are going to be harder for you to implement. These are things that you already do. As I observed last week in multiple classrooms, these were things that are easily put in. It's just something that I think we forget because of everything else going on as a teacher. So please feel free to stop and ask questions. I'm just going to be providing a couple of strategies today, nothing too big or crazy, just so that you guys can see more about some things we can do to support not just our ESL students, but all students. So just an introduction, I'm going to talk about some background, some strategies, application, and then more resources that we can use as teachers. Our goal today is I can learn new strategies that will help me teach my ESL students. I will do this by practicing strategies and have conversations with others. So making sure that you have that language objective and talking about what we're going to be doing is something really important. So background things to I want you to think about while we're doing this presentation. Prioritizing learning goals is something that you need to think about when we are teaching all learners. Don't assume anything with a student. You don't know their background, you don't know what they've gone through, so don't assume anything. Celebrate small achievements, especially with our ELL students and all students. Those small things can be a big deal for them. Use their senses, right? We all have 5 senses, and it's really good to apply those to get students more engaged and want to learn. Show, don't tell. Like right now I'm kind of talking to you a lot, and that's really hard for all students. They're not all auditory. So today we're going to be doing a lot more showing after I'm done explaining this background learning. And then build on what they've learned before. Find out what they know so that you're not repeating things over and over again. And again, I know you guys know this as teachers. They're just really good reminders. And also keep it real. Kids can tell when you're faking it and when you're not being real with them. So just be honest and be real and be vulnerable, and they will do the same to you. Okay, so strategy 1 is called QSSA. So that stands for question, STEM, signal, share, assess. So this strategy is a combination of like a you do, we do, I do, we do, you do kind of thing, but it's a little bit quicker, so something you can do at the beginning of a different type of lesson. So, for example, you would ask a question, you would provide a sentence stem because for conversation, they would do the problem and be ready to have the conversation with somebody else, and then they would share with somebody else, and you would listen, and then you would have a couple kids share out from what they've already shared to assess what they know. So this is where we're going to try it out together. So how can you determine if 2 fractions are equivalent? So on your whiteboards, I want you to tell me in whatever way you want to show me to determine how 2 fractions are equivalent. When you are done, I would like you to hold up your whiteboard. So you can show me by picture, you can show me by writing, you can show me whatever you would like to do. And then just show me. And this is also very important while this is happening to do enough wait time that it gives everybody the opportunity to think and process. I'm going to give you about 20 more seconds. It's also good to have a reminder of just time so that everybody is ready and it doesn't fluster them. And you will get time to maybe adjust your answer when you work with somebody. All right, so I see that pretty much everybody has, yep. Yep, everybody has their whiteboard showing something on it. That's really good. So, something that you would put up is, I would have this written on the whiteboard or on the smartboard, is a sentence stem for them to do. So like in IRA or in math, sometimes we have them talk about it, but they don't actually know what to talk about. So providing a visual sentence stem can help them be able to have the conversation. So with a partner or somebody next to you, I would like you to talk to them and say, to determine that both fractions are equivalent, you have to blank. Some words, I'm going to give you a word bank. Denominator, numerator, and equivalent could be in your sentence. So I'm going to say that again. To determine that both fractions are equivalent, you have to blank. So talk with a partner, just like you would with kids. They would talk with a partner to discuss this, and you may adjust your thinking.
They gotta have a common denominator.
To determine.
Both fractions are equivalent, you have to make sure they have a common denominator. And if they're equivalent, the numerator will be the same. So they're not, they have to have a common denominator. Well, but you have to have you can't do this. I can't determine that's equivalent.
A common multiple?
Well, the denominator needs to be the same, right?
No, because these denominators are not the same.
That's for-
Right,
but
but
to-
comparing. Right, so you need to multiply times a whole number, like the,
But still, it's
What-
equivalent.
It is equivalent, but you have to make, to check to make sure they're equivalent, you have to have a common denominator, they have to have the same denominator.
So I'm going to bring you guys back really, really fast, and see how productive this conversation can be with when students are checking their work and doing that. So you're going to give me now some type of, bring it back, adult learners, bring it back, bring it back. So something we're going to do now is you're going to give me some type of silent signal to show that you've had the conversation. So I would usually give more time, but because of time now, some type of silent signal, thank you. All right, and then this is where you would choose a couple of people from the conversation to talk about it. So it might be good to be picking maybe people that have two different answers so that we can all get misconceptions out of the way. So I would then have one person talk and share out, and then I would have another person and we would talk about who was right or who may need to change their thinking to make sure that they understand. So that's just something simple you can do in IRA, you can do in guided reading groups, as well as math and social studies. So just something simple, but it's called QSSSA or QSSSA. Just something like that. And this is what it looks like again, just a reminder. And then once they've shared out, that's how you assess as they're hearing their thinking. Some resources to help. We actually use a lot of these already, but I did a little bit more research with Khan Academy. I know for sake of time this year, it would be a little bit more difficult, but maybe next year, thinking about using Khan Academy for more resources at home. There's a lot of videos in Spanish and other languages that explain things. And I watched some videos, and they are actually very similar to the Eureka methods. So it'd be something that we could provide as a support for parents because it already has somebody doing the same work we're doing, but in their language. So something really cool. Jelena Coe's Math Multilingual E-Glossary is another thing we could use for writing and reading. It's all online, and these are all free resources that we can use that are in Spanish and in Swahili and different languages. And then a lot of us already use Extra Math. The only thing I would add on to Extra Math is there are videos in math talking about in Spanish to the parents. So this is just another resource to give parents because I know we're really looking for a lot of resources. ELA, we already use News ELA with the Spanish, different Spanish things. Something that I do warn you for News ELA is not everything is in Spanish, so sometimes it's harder to find a